Hey kids, welcome back. Old man shouting at clouds, here to help you with your fantasy picks as we do another episode of Old Man Plays CFL Fantasy. To start, hey, check this out, birthday present. Pretty good, eh? Obsidian green, and check out the back right here. Best young Canadian lineman to come along in years, Mr. Furlan. Logan there, I'm representing him with this. But anyway, that's enough about the good parts of my week. The bad parts all have to do with fantasy. So this week, your best thing may be to just run away from me. Do the opposite. Do a Costanza. Do the opposite of what I do, and you might do well. Because 54.8 points. That was my week. Led by captain and quarterback VA with zero point 0.1 points, which I doubled to 0.2. Whoa, big scoring. And this is the end of a long string that's just keep getting worse and worse. I've been in the 70s and 80s the last 3 weeks. Before that, because I picked Cody, who went out early, got me 5 points. Then I picked VA against Calgary, a bad game, gave me, let's see, what was it, 24.8 points. Then I picked MBT in that Hamilton game, 2.3 points. Both of those with doubling, by the way, to get there. And then this last one with Vernon. So it's been a bad week, bad stretch of weeks. I mentioned this over on CFL subreddit and said maybe some people want to take advantage of that. Who would you like me to curse this week? I am the quarterback killer. And the votes seem to be for Drew Brown of Ottawa, so that's where we're going with. But otherwise, I've checked the injury reports. I've checked the 2 depth charts that are out, Saskatchewan and Ottawa. And my overall plan, Saskatchewan may be a Joe. It's the only one I can think of because their line is hurt. They're down to basically their backups on the O line and D line. I don't feel good about that. Red Blacks, I did tell the people I'd take Drew Brown by their votes. So I'll probably team him up with Justin Hardy. I might even go Rock Armstead there because Thurman's also out with Saskatchewan, which is going to hurt their run stopping. And I may go with Pimpleton, although I'm not sure there because the one thing Saskatchewan doesn't do is give up a lot of deep passes generally. Calgary, the only one I can think of is maybe Bagleton, and I feel like that's chasing points. He got an awful lot on those side screens, the wide screens out to him last week, and I'm thinking Toronto will have game plan for that, so maybe not him. Toronto, again, what can you say? Who's going to be quarterbacking? Who's going to be playing? I don't know, Coxie maybe, and maybe Carey, because he's a good running back, and I hope they get him going this time. I couldn't find anyone in Hamilton that I was really thinking of off the top. Montreal, Cody may be back, so I may go with Philpott. I may go with Reggie White Jr., and I may go with Fletcher at the running back spot. Again, more for passes out of the backfield than running. BC with Dolegala in scares me. I'm going to stay away from that. But Edmonton, they've got some good receivers there, and if Trey gets the ball to them, so maybe Lewis, maybe Mitchell, maybe Gittins Jr., and maybe Leak, the way he went off last week. Will Trey stretch the edges against BC or force them to spread out like Saskatchewan did, or will they have a better defense? I'm not sure. I may take a chance on that. So that's how I'm looking at it. Let's head on over to the computer, see what the budget says, and how we can make this work.
All right, so let's see what we've got here. We said we wanted Drew Brown at quarterback. So where does he come in? 11K, that's not bad. And I did say I'd want to hook him up with Justin Hardy if I could, which I think is still true. Let's see, let's make this simple on ourselves. Come up here and look for Ottawa Red Blacks. And where do we see Mr. Hardy? There he is, 10.9. So they're both somewhat expensive, but I think that's worth it. The running backs, let's see where we go from here. Fletcher, I said maybe. He's cheaper than Carey, but I think Carey, he's good out of the backfield end. He should run well against Calgary this week. So let's go look at the other wide receivers that I was looking for then. I did say thought I'd go with Philpott, so he's here. And so then the last one, and how are we doing for money here? Oh, still 28K, so we're not too bad at all. So let's check our other running back now. So where did we go? We said Fletcher maybe, but I'm feeling off on him. Armstead is good at 5. Oh, but and this Leak, will BC manage to shut down that inside run and keep Trey contained? I don't know. I'll take the chance. I'm going to go with Leak on there. So that leaves me one more player here. And who was I thinking of amongst these people? Let's see. Philpott we've already taken. Hardy we've taken. Jones, no. Pimpleton maybe, but again, Saskatchewan, I don't think they're going to give up too much there. If we keep working our way down the list here, who do we get to? Bagleton, again, that feels like it's chasing points. Maybe this is the game that Trey gets Eugene Lewis going. Let's try that. Let's put Eugene in there. So that leaves us all there. Oh, and it leaves us 13.1 for defense. Toronto, I don't think so. Saskatchewan, not the way they're banged up. Winnipeg's not playing. Hamilton, no. Montreal, oh, Hamilton's projected more points than Montreal, but I don't think so. So I'm going with the Alouettes. They should pick off a few there and should be good. That leaves me 3.2K left. And I think I'm comfortable with that. So for those listening on the podcast that can't see this, I'm going with the Montreal Alouettes defense. Drew Brown at quarterback. Kadeem Carey and Javon Leak are my running backs. Justin Hardy and Tyson Philpott are my wide receivers. And Eugene Lewis is there in my flex. And I need to make a captain, so that will be Drew Brown. There we go. That's locked in, saved. Those are my picks for this week.
That's my picks. Once again, you may want to do a Costanza and just stay away from anything that I've chosen. Or be brave and come along with me. Either way, I hope I've helped you out with your week of fantasy. If you've enjoyed this, check out my other shows, CFL Outsider and Oldman plays CFL Pick'em in under a minute. And please subscribe, do all the stuff for the algorithm, rate, review, all that stuff. Have a great week. Good luck in fantasy. And until next week, get the hell off my lawn.